it's way too complicated and confusing. In reality, all those 50 rules can be summarized into one thing, which is doubt or uncertainty. Okay, so one thing I want you to understand here, the way I personally like to think about the subjunctive is that I don't separate the subjunctive and imperative. To me, I think about the subjunctive not as a tense, but rather a trigger, okay? Something that gets triggered, okay? So the way I like to think about that is like a phenomenon. It's like something that occurs naturally. This same trigger applies for subjunctive and imperative. And so instead of just calling them subjunctive and imperative, I just put it together to call it the mood tense, which is what it basically is in English. It's expressing a certain mood. Also, because the subjunctive and imperative are conjugated the exact same, except for one example. And so as we know, exceptions don't make rules. And so just because there's one example where the imperative slightly differs from the subjunctive doesn't mean it's enough reason to separate them the way that textbooks in school does. So I just like to think about it as one thing, which is the mood tense. So forget all the charts, forget all the memorization. This is all it is. Is the verb a fact? Or is there doubt or uncertainty? And if you're just starting out, I'd highly recommend checking out the Speedy Spanish Roadmap. It's a free course I created to help you start learning Spanish with these methods. And you'll find it in the first link in the description.